You know what's also interesting? This is the box office results for the weekend. So at number one, Transformers: Rise of the Beast opened to 61 million. Number two, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, 55.5 million. At number three, The Little Mermaid at 23.1 million. At number four, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at 7.2 million. And at number five, The Boogeyman at 7.1 million. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on these results? Any surprises there?
Yeah, Transformers, considering I didn't even know they're released until you told me yesterday.
Yeah, we get it 2 weeks after the US.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Transformers was a little bit surprising. I mean, I know that was going to be big at the big box office, but it wasn't really expecting 60 million. I was expecting something around about that 50 to 55 mark.
Yeah.
Especially when it's up against Spider-Man in its second week as well. And like praise that film's getting. On to Spider-Man, the fact that it's almost like 5 million shy from taking up the first spot is really good as well.
Yeah.
Goes to show word of mouth is going around quite well. I don't know the percentage of the drop, but you can probably...
It's 55%.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Really. So yeah, that's really good.
54%, sorry. Yeah.
So I think that's going to chug along nicely, and obviously with all the positive reviews and whatnot that's going to come out, we're just going to keep pushing it towards
yeah, it's actually it's surpassed the worldwide total of the first one already.
Yeah, how good.
Crazy, yeah.
Little Mermaid, I'm actually surprised it's still pulling 23 million.
Yeah, it's like I said in last week's podcast. You know, it dropped pretty heavily, and we were both surprised by that. And I said we'll have to wait to see in the third week. Usually it stabilizes, and as this week happened, it did stabilize. Dropped 44%, that's a strong drop, or like a good drop.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that it's that good, but I knew that it would stabilize a little bit over this third week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still surprised about that 27 million though. I was expecting something around about the
23 million.
Oh, 23.
Yeah.
I was expecting something under 20. Guardians though, that's been out for, I swear, for yonks.
Yeah.
And it's fourth.
Yeah.
That's doing good. Boogeyman has knocked off Fast X. I know Fast X is available on digital very soon.
It's out. I'm pretty sure it's out now.
Is it?
I don't know, but yeah.
About 4 weeks in?
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
That's crack up. So
yeah,
but nah, I think it's a good weekend box office, and just goes to show that you might have a very good opening weekend, but if something else comes out, you're probably going to lose that top spot.
Yeah,
and we might see this across all summer.
Pardon?
We'll see this across all summer.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting. I mean, it's already pretty much like a bloodbath, like because what do we got this week? Well, you got Elemental, we got The Flash coming out, and then you got Transformers on its third week. You got Spider-Man on. Transformers on its second week, Spider-Man on its third, Little Mermaid on fourth. It's a very intense time.
Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting to see how it all balances out. The time between the Mission Impossible, Barbie, and Oppenheimer period is what I'm very excited for. That weekend is going to be very interesting. But we'll get to more of that when it comes. But yeah, Transformers just opened much higher than I thought. The tracking showed between 30 and 40 million. And I was telling people, no, it's going to open higher. It's Transformers. It's just how the fans go. And then obviously word of mouth was obviously propelling it a little bit further. And, an A- cinema score, it may not have such bad drops that the other ones tend to. I do think this will, it will drop similar to Fast X, just won't be as bad.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll be on digital in a couple of weeks before we get it in New Zealand. Yeah, but I think 61's a great opening. Got about 171 worldwide opening. I think it got around 40 million in China, which is the second biggest Hollywood opening since COVID. Second to Fast X, funnily enough. I wrote about this in the long range forecast that they're very similar franchises in how they operate at the box office. So expect very similar kind of tales to both their performances. They will quite kind of mirror each other there. I think it could push for a 500 million total. I'd be skeptical to see if it lasts. It really depends on how it holds up in China. But yeah, it's a positive sign. Despite the 180 to 200 million price tag on it, doesn't have 340 million budget like Fast X, so Paramount can be a little bit pleased with these results. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I actually expected a better or like a higher amount.
It's like in the 60s or 70s.
I no, not 70s. Have been too good. Around 60 or so. I expected to drop around 50%, not 54%. Just word of mouth has been insane, but yeah, you got Transformers coming in there, and that kind of does target, kind of the same demographics as Across the Spider-Verse. With obviously everything else out, it's going to be weakened by everything. 55 on a second weekend is still fantastic. And the fact that it's at like 225 million already, you can see it's getting to 350, perhaps 400 million. I always say that the third weekend is where you're really going to see where things can really, like, where they're on pace to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if it gets 30 million, 30 to 40 million in this next third weekend, yeah, you could be looking up to 400 million. But this weekend should be interesting at the box office because I think Elemental's tracking around 30 to 35 million. If Spider-Verse beats Elemental opening weekend, that's gonna be news. That's gonna be very interesting.
Do you think it will?
No, I don't think it will. I think it's unlikely, but I think it's possible. I don't see any hype for Elemental, despite reviews getting better. I think it's like nearly 80% on Rotten Tomatoes now. So hopefully that drives some word of mouth that can get more people into those seats. And yeah, you pretty much see everything about Little Mermaid and Guardians and Boogeyman. I think Boogeyman dropped 42% in second weekend. It's a horror movie.
That's pretty good.
That's very good.
It's a horror movie that's playing out of season as well.
Yeah. It's not the season of when, and yeah, it's like mixed through all this like really dense kind of competition. But I guess it's like counter programming in that sense. When groups want to see that, and then there's always two that want to see the horror movie or something. So
it's actually pretty smart from like a horror film and perspective to like release it outside that window that horror season.
Yeah.
Because obviously if you release something in the horror season, it's gonna be dense.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to go see it, but like if you just have it as a random thing, then you got a filler back there if cinemas are sold out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably what's happened here. Transformers, Spider-Man, Little Mermaid, everyone's seen those. And then, you get the stragglers going to Boogeyman and Fast X.
Yeah.
Fast X had a good drop, 45%. So it's the best drop so far. And it's going to drop like a rock now because
it's on digital.
It's on digital, which is just crazy to me. But yeah, it's going to get more interesting at the box office. This weekend should be good. All right, we're going to do something now